So I'm halfway through A Last Hope, which is a King Thrushbeard retelling. This is something I got for myself. It's just $1 and I needed a book to read, so I got it. And you know, this is a Hope Ever After series, which is a really cool series because all the proceeds from it go to the OUR, which is, I don't remember what that stands for, but it's a program to help stop kids from being trafficked. So it's a cool little thing. If you are interested in one of the books, it is a helpful purchase. But I got it. I love King Thrushbeard's retellings. There's a lot of them that just end up being my favorite. I tend to always enjoy those reads. But yeah, so I'm reading it. I'm 41% the way through, and I'm disappointed and I'm sad about it. Like, this series overall is really interesting to me. Just a lot of them have interesting concepts. And then the premise seemed interesting, and then the King Thrushbeard retelling, I love those. And overall, it's just kind of I feel like I don't like how the characters talk. When there's dialogue, the characters talk all old-timey, and it's just weird. We don't need that. Why is that there? What else? The male main character is stupid, and so he's like just spending all this money for no good reason. And I don't know, he just annoys me greatly. So he's gonna have to like improve greatly, but he's just like, they just got to the part where they get married, and I don't have much faith that it's going to end satisfyingly. I think Ariana, which is the female main character, is okay. She'd be better if Mark wasn't so annoying. It's Mark with a C. Most of the dude characters, they're like a normal name, but one letter has changed. Weird. Don't like it. Not at all. But yeah. Anything else do I have to say? The prose are like just a little off. Like the author has this like grand idea, and like I think she's like trying to insert God into it, and it just feels preachy and annoying. But yeah, I think if the prose were better, this book would be better overall. But yeah, and then if it ends satisfyingly, it will be good. But I don't like the prose. I really dislike the prose so much. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. But I only spent $1 on the book, so not too much to it. You can hear me because the AC is on and I'm not turning it off because it is hot. But first update, I did finish A Last Hope. It was so preachy, and I feel like most of my issues with it that I stated earlier are still there. And I think, like, reading it and like looking back on it, the main problem was how preachy it is, and like the author had this idea of how it should, like the theme she wanted to have, and it didn't come across naturally, and like it felt so forced, and it just made it really hard to read. I would not recommend it. I gave it 3 stars because like the plot was good, the characters they had like potential, and if it wasn't such a preachy thing, then that wouldn't change things. Spoiler, but some people like to be warned about this, so little trigger warning. Skip ahead like 10 seconds if you need to. But there is a pregnancy trope, so do with that what you will. It wasn't that big of a deal, but also it's like, oh, that's why they had sex then. So yeah, it wasn't like a sex scene. You just know that they had sex because this lady, she's a Christian. You can tell by how preachy she is. So yeah, that's kind of just what I thought about the books. I wouldn't recommend it, but you know, I gave it 3 stars and I didn't DNF it or anything. But yeah, ew. I don't know what's in my hair, but there's something nasty in it. I wonder if you guys can see it if I show you. See that dark spot? It's kind of gross. I I don't know how that happened. But yeah. And now I'm reading Voyage by Camille. This is one of my favorite books, and my friend Tyler got it for me, so thank you, Tyler. I'm about halfway through. I really enjoy this book. I'm going to give it 5 stars at the end of this. I've read this book so many times, but yeah, let me tell you what this book is about. So this girl, this is another King Frustrated retelling. This is going to be my 100th book once I finish it. I'm excited about that. Oh, I made you run away. Sorry. But I'm really excited about that. It's a fun book. The characters are really fun, and I just really enjoy that. There's some plot things that happen in the second half of the book that I'm just like, but I'll tell you more about that later. But it's really fun. So this book is about this girl. She's a princess, and she's gonna get married. But, you know, she's known as the Dragon Princess because she's a bit of a bitch. And, you know, I try not to use that word, but I think that's an apt word to describe her. But she has a hard time trusting people just because her family are a-holes. And so she goes out and she's getting on this ship to get to her husband, and she meets the captain, and the captain's like, hey, I'm captain, you're Serene. And he calls her by her name, and it drives her up the wall, but it also makes her secretly a little happy. He's like, and she's like, what are you doing calling me by my name? You're just a sea captain. And he's like, oh, let me introduce you by my land name. I'm Prince Rowan, blah, 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 blah. I don't remember his full name. And she's like, that's not how it works. You can't be a prince and a sea captain. And so they beef over that because, I mean, I love this book so much. And so she like kind of hates him, but also he's just so nice, and he's like always wanting to hang out with her, and even when she's mean, he's really nice to her still. And she's like, wait a minute, this is actually kind of nice. I do like having friends. And so she becomes friends with him, and then she's conflicted because she's engaged to Prince Rowan, and she's starting to get feelings for Captain Rowan. And that's the book. And she's like dealing with all her trust issues, and he's dealing with his trauma. And it's such a good book. It's so fun. I mean, the prose, they're nothing spectacular. The plot, it's okay. But the romance is everything to me, okay? Everything to me. I love it so much, and it's just so lovely. And I just love watching them fall in love. I love this and Identity from whatchamacallit, also from this series, are some of my favorite books. And I was thinking about it, I was like, I wonder why I like this book, because I was reading it and I'm like, there's not really any quotes I really want to underline or anything, but like this, how she handles this dynamic of this girl who's so like in herself, and like she's the grumpy, but she's not necessarily grumpy. Like in Identity, she's not grumpy. She's a really sweet person, but like she's has the trust issues, and she's kind of closed off. And then we have this guy who's really like sunshiny and just lovely, and they like come together, and like he helps her come out of her shell, and she talks to him about his trauma that he's been repressing. And I don't know, I just love that dynamic and how Camille Peters writes it. And, you know, it's just so fun to read. I've read both those books so many times. And, you know, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to get tired of it anytime soon. And it's just so lovely. And, you know, I would recommend these books, I think. Especially Identity. I love Identity. This book, I don't like one specific plot thing that's going to happen later, but I haven't read that yet again, so yeah. I don't know. I thought it was funny how, like, they're in the middle of a storm. This is spoilers, but they're in the middle of a storm. If you want to skip spoilers, just skip to when I'm changing my clothes, so I'm just going to talk spoilers now. But they're in the storm, and it's like a giant storm, and she's trying not to be freaked out, but she's freaked out. And she's thinking about all the statistics she read about how people die in shipwrecks, and she's like, oh no, the guy I like, that I don't like, by that I like, that I want to pretend I don't like, he might die, but he's really capable. And so she starts figuring it out, and her friend's asleep, so she just goes up in the middle of the storm, and he's like, girl, what are you doing? Go below deck, it's not safe out here. And she's just holding on to the mast for dear life. And then he brings her down, and then they talk for a really long time down below deck. And I'm like, dude, you're the captain? Do you really have time for this? Like, it's really sweet and romantic and all, but should you be down here? Is that a good idea? But yeah, and it's really fun, and yeah, I don't know, I just love this book. I'm so happy I opened it yesterday, and I was like, I'm so happy. I just kept telling my friends, I am so happy. I'm so excited to read this book. I'm so excited. So yeah, and I'm using a blue pen because it's a blue book. I had a different pen, and then that one broke weird, like the ink splatter, like inside the pen. Like, it didn't get everywhere. It's just in the pen, and now it won't write. So I threw it away. But luckily I had the same blue pen, but in a multicolor version, so that worked out good. But yeah, I'm so happy. I'm loving this book. I'm having a good old time, and I want to finish it today, because then I finished 100 books in May, even though I'm not getting to my 20 books a month goal. So yeah, thank you for watching this really long clip. Stand here so you can see messy things and have things to look at. But I have finished Voyage, and I wish I could say it was as good as I remember. It's not. The plot, like, there's just a lot of, like, cliche things that was going on. Like, there's literally one point where she was like, held a breath I didn't know I was holding. And, like, I know I noticed that before, but, like, you're supposed to be amazing. But, like, the romance is so fun, and, like, the character development, while choppy, I personally still love. And, like, I love the ways this book makes me think. Like, a lot of books, they inspire stories in my head, and, you know, this one is always fun to revisit for those stories that come in my head. And just, I love, like, the character dynamics so much, and I don't know, it's just fun. I had a fun time reading it, and even though I was disappointed, because, like, the prose, they're not in, you know? Camille spoiled them. You can't see my book. He spoiled me. I didn't care about prose until I read his book, and once you read his short stories, like, for me, it was just like, oh, this is what amazingness could be. So now I've started caring, which is sad, but also gonna be good. Maybe good for when it comes to this, but good when it comes to, like, other books, and it's fun to read and to just enjoy that, but, you know. And then, yeah, the plot device happened, and, you know, I'm not as annoyed with it this reread. I feel like it was kind of pointless. Like, she wanted to speed up a certain aspect of her character development. I'll tell you what chapter it happened in. I literally wrote in there, this is the chapter with that annoying thing. Chapter 25. So you have the book, you can look at it. But, yeah. It's just, I don't know. I feel like the book could have been equally good, if not, it could have been better if that part didn't happen. And, like, there's so many other ways she could have gone about it. I'm gonna spoil. Let's just assume it's spoilers now, okay? So, I don't want to spoil, though. I would like you guys to read this book. I don't want you guys to not read this book because you have the spoilers. I still think you should read this book even though not everything's perfect. I love this book. But, yeah, I think it could have even still been a magical thing. But, like, it just made the change instant. And it's not like It's like an emotional magic, so you know, just so you're not like scared. But and like, I was on track for what she was going for. It just sped things up a little bit, and like it flows nicely, so don't worry about that. But it's just annoying, you know. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the book. Next, I'm gonna be reading. I do still enjoy that, and like Serene's a fun character. There's a lot of fun characters. It's just a joy to read, okay? Okay. And then next, I'm so excited about this book. It's Floppy. My friend, she went to Barnes & Noble's to get this for me, and I'm so glad she did because the one on Amazon's a hardcover, and I love floppy books so much. And look at the cute bookmarks she got me. She got me teacup ones. My friend, we haven't known each other very long, but she knows me so well. They're just so cute. But yeah, this is The Romance Rivalry by Susan Lee. I've read all her other books, and I'm really excited to read this one. This is the first one that I get to own and annotate because I got the rest from the library. But I'm pumped, you know, pumped. I don't know. It's going to be quick to read. There's a lot of pages with, like, it's not very long. And then this spacing is huge. Great for annotating. Is this one of the books? Oh yeah, there's a bunch of blank pages at the back of the book. Oh, a lot. So many. These are all blank pages. This book also had a bunch of blank pages at the end, if you want to know about that. But yeah, I'm excited. I wonder if there's a table of contents. It's not. I don't know why people think, like, once you're a child, you don't want a table of contents anymore. It's a little annoying. I love a table of contents. I want to be able to look at all the chapters at once. But yeah, it's so floppy. I'm so excited. And it's pretty. I'm happy. I'm so happy. I'm gonna love this book. I loved her other books, okay? Okay. Now I'm gonna go, because I've been talking for 5 minutes. What is this? It's in the nerd wall. Nerd wall! Okay, so I am this far into The Romance Rivalry, and I'm having fun. And look, I'm wearing a heart sweater, and I didn't do this on purpose, but I think it matches the book, so, like, the idea of the book so well. I'm reading this, and I kind of feel like if you like Book Lovers by Emily Henry and just how, like, knowledgeable of, like, the book world and just like, books in general, you would enjoy this book. It's just really fun to read, and I'm just enjoying myself, you know. It's kind of cheesy, and, like, the prose aren't gorgeous. They're not purple, but they're fun. I think this book is also, like, very of this time, you know, like, there's a lot of slang, there's a lot of specific books, and that's kind of, like, the purpose of it, and it's a lot of fun to read, and I think it's just really fun to explore that right now. But does it make for it the best book in the world? Probably not, but I'm having a lot of fun. I think it's funny how much she hates this dude. She's just, like, despises him, and she's just, like, kind of, like, he stresses me out, and that's why, which fair, but yeah. And it's a lot of fun listening to her talk about romance books, and, like, she loves romance books, and she loves the idea of romance, but, like, people getting too close to her freaks her out. I'm just reading that, and I just go, like, yeah, I relate. I get you, girl. You know, I also have a heart attack whenever anyone touches me. The only person who, like, I don't get freaked out when touches me is my best friend Anjali. So shout out to her. You're amazing, Anjali. And so that's something. And, like, how stressed and awkward she gets at it, and, like, she sees it. And, like, there's this one guy, and he's winking at her, and she's like, it's weird every time. Even when I know his name, it's weird. And, like, yeah, winking's weird. Like, why? Eyes are so tiny. Why do we pretend like that's cool? I don't know. I didn't know. Like, blink. I'm blinking with one. I don't know. Why is this a thing? Like, it's a huge thing. And you know what? I agree with her. It's weird. So weird. And I don't know. I'm having fun. They just got the challenge, which is the thing of the bet, and she's making him delete his review channels if he loses, which is so crazy. Like, you don't even hate him that much. Why are you taking away his potential job? But yeah, it's fun. And I really like how the chapters are named after tropes. I think that's really fun. I like the little reviews in between them. And it gets like exciting when the reviews are both like positive or both negative or whatever. It's just a lot of fun. And I'm really enjoying this book. So thank you, Amina. Thank you so much. So yesterday night, I finished Love Rivalry, and you know, I finished it in one day. It was great. It was really amazing, and I had a great time with it. It's just a fun book overall. I think that the characters were, maybe this one, cute. Ooh, this one. I'm picking out my hair stuff, but the characters were fun, and there's good explanation of character. The characters are fun, there's good explanation of characters. Apparently I can't get ready and talk, which kind of sucks. But I would like to, so we're just gonna keep going. I like that one with it too. And it was cool. I really loved, like I was saying earlier, the tropes and how like every chapter had a trope assigned to it, and how the author chose to explore those tropes and like these subversions on them. And some of the ways they're subversions because of like we know it's a trope book and all that, so it's just cute and fun. Checking out my shirt thing. Dress. It's a dress. It's a dress, guys. And yeah, the character development of the main character was really good. She really had to reflect, and I like that. How she took the time and she's like, hey, I'm not able to be in a relationship right now. And then when she was, like, she'd worked through the specific issues she had, they revisited. That's a bit of a spoiler, but that's okay, because it's tropey, you know? But yeah, that was really good. And just how everything was approached, it was really sweet and lovely. I think that's how I want to do my hair. Or was it like this? Or I could put it up. Yeah, let's go. I'll put it up later. So I picked out the bob pins for nothing. But yeah, that was really good. And just like how the characters, what's that wear, right? I don't know. Which, that's how Romani wore it earlier. Still hair up. Makes my face look fatter. There we go, that's cute. Yeah, I didn't love the prose in this book, which kind of sucks because, you know, but other than that, the book was really good. I think the epilogues were not necessarily necessary, which would be really repetitive of me, but they were fun. Can I wear this like a different way? Can I just go like what shoe? That's kind of how I'm feeling it. I want to go like this and just walk around. I'm gonna play with this thing. Oh, that perfume smells strong. That's cute. I like how you can see my arms through it. But yeah, I think that the characters were sweet. I don't know, the romance was good. I gave it 4.75. Like, it's just fun, addictive read, but I don't think it's gonna like stay with me or anything. And you know, that's just how it goes. I had more thoughts last night. I was like laying in bed thinking, I'm gonna say this and this and this. I'm gonna say, like, I read all this author's books that are out so far. The Name Drop is probably my favorite out of all of them. Let me check. This is on my right hand, so you know. And this is the only finger it will fit on. Well, I can fit on this one, but we ain't doing that. But yeah, it's just a fun read. It was addictive, it was great, it was romantic, and it had me squealing. Yeah, there was this guy, he like repeatedly had like signs of anger issues, and that was never really never resolved or explained. And like I think the idea was that he's just being jealous or something, but I feel like that could have been explored more, and I feel like him as a character in general could have been explored more, but did we get that? No, we did not, so we just had to live with what we did get. Yeah. I'm not really sure what else to say other than this scarf thing, shawl thing confuses me, and I feel like I look prettier without it, and my head already hurts today. Oh, it's from the perfume. See, I like perfume because it makes me feel fancy, but I dislike it because it hurts my head, and it's a constant struggle between the two for me. So yeah, those are the books that I got for my graduation presents. Thank you to Tyler, Amina, and myself for getting them. Thank you to all of you for watching. Thank you to all the people who came to my graduation, and to the teachers and my mom for helping me with my education. It was really great, and I really appreciate it. Thank you to you for watching this video, especially this last part because I could not think. But yeah, I'll do a little fit check before we go. Oh, I paused it. I said I was gonna put my hair up. I don't know if you heard. But yeah, this is what I look like. Oh, look, I can turn around and show you in the mirror. Or I can't. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing. But bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.